All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and good morning to everybody on YouTube. This is the last day of the week, and we're halfway into the month, and we are ready to rock and roll. I did want to open up and talk a little bit about yesterday. So yesterday, for me personally, I had a red day, and I know many of us did, right, in the trading community. And it's important to immediately recognize what went wrong, and I hope you guys studied yesterday from those trades that didn't work out, so that we can come today with a fresh and clear mind on what to do better, right? You can't expect coming to the stock market and not to lose money. At some point, you're going to lose money, but what's important, and Taj can talk to this as well, is that you've got to manage those losses. Make sure that those losses and those red days are not wiping out, for instance, a whole week's worth of gains, right? Because if that's the case, then you've got to adjust your sizing and your position, right? So maybe if you took too much size and you suffered great losses, one of the first things you should do is reduce your size. So to give you an easy example, if you trade with 1,000 shares and you lost $1,000, $2,000 on a trade, guess what? You should come back in the next day, trade with smaller amount, 100 shares, 200 shares, you know? Today, for those of you that are coming back from a red day, let's focus on making base hits today. Don't try to make some home runs because you can get caught in a similar situation like yesterday. All right. So for me personally, that's what I do. When I come back from a red day, my next morning, I want to make sure I'm making nice base hits. Let me hit 1, 2, 3, 4 base hits. Okay. Now I've got some wins under my belt, and let's get right back to it. So Taj, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, that's spot on. Yesterday was actually a max loss day for me, so I had a pretty sizable loss on my end. So what I like to do, just to get things started, is I usually do two things. One, I usually sit on my hands for at least the first 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I even extend it out to 15, just so I'm cool, calm, and collected throughout the trading morning. I don't feel rushed to take a trade, right?
Yeah.
The next thing I do, I cut my risk at least by half, right? So if I'm risking, let's say, $1,000 on a trade, usually, I'll cut it down to 500. Or if you're somebody who risks, $200 on a trade, cut it down to 100, right? Just so you want to make sure that you're calm and, like Alex said, going for those base hits. You're not mentally coming in saying, hey, I need to make up for whatever I lost yesterday.
Right.
No, yesterday is gone. Today's a new day, and let's approach it that way, right? So that's a practice I like to do.
Yes, sir.
I share that with you in case you all want to do the same. But nonetheless, if you had a big losing day, just don't feel like you need to make it all back today, right? You're going to have those days where, you lose 2 days in a row. You're going to have days where you win 15 days in a row, right? Like it all comes full circle. So yeah, today's a new day. It's Friday. Let's close out the week strong, and let's not, like Alex usually says, try to become millionaires in one day.
Yeah, that's my line. So, all right. So with that being said, Taj and I, we wanted to make sure that we opened up today with that because it's so important to remind ourselves every single day of the discipline that we need to have as day traders. So let's just go get it. Let's make it a good day. So let's start off. I've got a couple names here that I like, and I know Taj is ready as well. I like Micron, MU. So check out MU. It's trading light in volume this morning, but we've got a nice price target upgrade on it. And as you guys know, price target upgrades always fuel stocks, right? Not 100% of the times, but they tend to, right? So Wells Fargo raised MU or Micron to $100. Pull up a daily chart on MU, and it's been consolidating here since December 4th, so almost the entire month. And this just looks straight up like a bull flag on the daily chart. I mean, this has been on a rip since November, and then it's finally consolidated a little bit for 2 weeks. And now we're getting price target upgrades of $100 from Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo is they're a good analyst. So I like them. I like to follow Wells Fargo calls. So Micron could have a nice move today. And with the way that it's setting up now in pre-market, I've marked up my charts. If it trades higher than 72.99, we can go long it. I'm going to put my stops at 72, 74, right? If it falls below 72, 74, I'll ignore it. I'll lose interest in it. Okay? So that's my first idea. AMD. I like AMD. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Yesterday, I know we got burned on AMD, right? Yesterday, right out of the gates, it broke out of 97.60. We went long. It almost tested all-time highs at 97.99, and then immediately just flopped and sold off to 96 bucks. So let's keep an eye on AMD. Okay, AMD did receive a price target upgrade today from Wells Fargo, $120. Okay, now pull up a daily chart on AMD. AMD is bull flagging on the daily chart. I actually believe AMD is a good swing opportunity, which you guys saw on the swing channel. So I would keep my stops tight though on AMD. If I'm going to swing it, I would put my stops at 95 bucks. If it falls below $95, get out of it for a loss. But I think we can see AMD at $100 pretty soon. So my price target on AMD is anything above 98. I think, and just into all-time highs. So I like it. I think this, I just want to keep an eye on it. AMD is going to be, I would say, on my B list today, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to let it fly under my nose. So that's one name that I like. And of course, my baby, Tesla. Tesla. This thing is just a monster. Oh
my goodness.
It is a beast. What can I say? Look at this thing, man. So today is an important day. Today's the last day before Tesla gets bought up from and gets bought into the S&P 500. Webb Bush was on CNBC right before we went live for our pre-market analysis, saying that they think Tesla is going to be in the $700 range by next week. That's insane.
Yeah.
All right. So, but pull up a daily chart on Tesla. This thing consolidated for, all of December. And what's happening today? Breakout.
Yep.
Huge breakout. Right? So this thing is on a run. I don't think Tesla is going to stop. Today's going to be interesting because there's going to be a lot of movement on Tesla today, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm not in the guessing game. I just want to trade the chart, right? And Tesla is very strong today, so Tesla is going to definitely be on my A list today. Another name that I want to watch is Nvidia. Nvidia is not doing much in pre-market, not going to lie. But today we got a price target upgrade from Wells Fargo, $625. So there's a common theme. We've already heard from Wells Fargo 3 times. AMD, MU, Nvidia. So they are obviously upgrading the semiconductor sector, right? They think there's more room to the upside. Pull up a daily chart on Nvidia. Nvidia has gone nowhere since September. Look at it. It's been, and especially the last 2 months, like December and November, it's been in such a tight range. The high of, let's just say 550, low of 414. I mean, it is an extremely tight range since November 11th. So it's interesting. Something is going to happen with Nvidia pretty soon. There's going to be a catalyst. There's going to be something that's going to cause it to trade to the upside or to the downside. And I'm not going to play that guessing game on what it's going to be. But this consolidation here is really cool because once something comes out, like for instance, what happened with Apple. Remember Apple was trading in a nice consolidation. Then we got that news of the new subscription, right, for Apple. I mean, the stock broke out. And then you had price target upgrades follow suit with it. So Nvidia is prime for that. So I'm not saying to swing Nvidia. That's not what I'm calling for. But I think Nvidia is going to get some move today. So if it breaks out at 535, I'll go long Nvidia and I'll just put my stops at 534. It's a really tight range for Nvidia. Right now it's not even a dollar range. So I think the risk reward here is actually pretty good. So I like Nvidia. Another name that I like is uh, Winnebago, WGO. It reported earnings. I had it marked up at 62.35 on the low end and 63.45 on the upper end. It's trading downwards a little bit, so I'm not really interested in it right now. I think I'm gonna put it back onto my B list. But if it trades higher, if it breaks above 62.36, and we can see a test pre-market highs, I think this would be a good one to go long. Okay. Fubo is going to be interesting because Fubo is being traded like crazy since yesterday. So keep an eye on Fubo. This is going to be a B list stock for me, but I think there's a lot of day traders in it, and let's trade where the herd is at, right? So I think Fubo is going to be an interesting one. A stock that's going to be on my A list though is Apple. So Apple today is gapping up a little bit. And yesterday we traded Apple. We got burned on it. I think I got burned on it like 2 or 3 times. If we could see Apple retest yesterday's highs and break out, that's going to be beautiful. So we're 20 cents away from yesterday's double top formation that occurred. So if we see Apple break out of that, go long Apple. All right, that's my bet on Apple. One last name that's going to be on my A list, and then I'll pass it on to Taj, is going to be PLTR. So PLTR received a downgrade today. It's gapping down. I think the downgrade was to $13. Let me double check it. Yeah, $13 from Credit Suisse. So it closed yesterday at 27, 23. Now it's trading down to 26. I'm not saying it's going to trade down further. It possibly could. Maybe it could rebound, but I like the movement. I like the pre-market action because there's already a lot of volume and it's caught my attention. So if we could see PLTR break out of 26.50, I like it. I think I would go long it. Now, with the way that it's setting up right now, if it trades below 25.94, maybe we can go in for a short. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at here. But PLTR is going to definitely be on my radar. So I'm looking at the time, Taj. Let me just pass it on to you so that you have enough time to cover your stocks.
Yeah. I like a lot of those plays. There's a few that really stick out to me that you mentioned. For sure, Apple. If you look at Apple on this daily chart, it still is yet to really take off over the past couple days. It's kind of been teetering with this breakout that it's tried to have above that 126 level. But I think today could be the day. Getting that price target upgrade, like Alex mentioned, could be a huge catalyst for a name like Apple, right? If you look at some of the pre-market action that's going on right now, it's actually forming a nice bull flag on the potential breakout. And I believe yesterday's high was 129.58. So you're right there at that level where we tried to play Apple yesterday for the breakout. I took a loss on Apple as it tried to break above yesterday's pre-market data. But the thing is, it's not going to prevent me from doing that same exact play today and possibly being rewarded for it.
Right.
You just have to evaluate that risk reward, right? But let's see. Let's see what Apple's willing to do this morning. I do like the setup. There's so much room to the upside with Apple. If it's able to break above this, I really don't see any resistance until any clear resistance really until the all-time high around 138. Not saying it's going to hit that today, but major resistance areas. Nothing that I can really see until 138. So that's a good sign. That goes to show how much potential upside a stock like Apple has. So that's going to be number 1 on my list. Another name that I really like is Wish. So Wish actually ended up having a pretty good day yesterday. Had a nice, around 11:30, had a nice breakout above the intraday highs, and actually went above yesterday or the prior day's high, which was 23.80, which hit 23.90. Now it did retrace, and it retraced pretty heavy. It pretty much retraced back to the consolidation level that it was at, around that $22 range. Mm-hmm. However, if you look at price action today, it's actually having almost $1 gap up. So what does that mean? If Wish can pick up some momentum and maybe even test that high again around 23.90. Who knows where Wish could go, right? We'd have to look at some price target projections on Wish. I think I saw one here at shares indicated. I would have to look into that. But nonetheless, there's so much potential room to the upside because this is an IPO that is hitting an all-time high, right? If we remember a name like PLTR, once PLTR had that sell-off and was able to clip that high, it went on a run, right? So I really want to keep an eye on Wish just in case that type of scenario comes about.
I like it.
Another name that I really like AMD. AMD, like Alex mentioned, it's almost like it's setting up for it, right? Like it's revving up the engines. You know, yesterday it was kind of that fake out. It broke above that bull mark, the bull flag yesterday, and then completely reversed down to 96. But then what do we have this morning? A complete recovery, essentially, from that sell-off. So let's see. Let's see what plays out today. You have some of the moving averages now catching up, and there's a potential that today could be the day that it breaks above that $98 price level and actually test that $100. So I bring that up to say, just because, just like with Apple, you get burned on the stock one day, don't let it, refrain you from trading it the next day, because it's a brand new opportunity. That's going to kind of be the theme today. A lot of these names are going to be some of the same names that we traded yesterday, but let's see. They had a lot of these names had a bounce, recovered some of the losses that they had, and is gearing up for possible another run. Another name I really like is Fubo. I was watching you guys trade it yesterday. I didn't personally trade it, but Fubo had an insane rally around that 10:55 mark. I know a lot of the traders who were hanging around 11 o'clock made a killing off of this.
Yep.
So it just goes to show the potential on Fubo, right? Like Alex said, a lot of day traders are going to be trading this stock, along with institutional traders, prop traders, investment manager. A lot of people are going to be trading this. And yesterday was the breakout of a pretty long bull flag. It was about a month of the stock just flagging on the daily. Bounced right off the 20 MA, and now you're going into, I believe this is all-time highs. I know it's at least 52-week highs. And you're having a gap up as well. The RSI is a little high, at least from the closing price. It was at 82.26. So if we are going to trade this, I would highly recommend, taking your profits very quickly on a name like this.
Yeah.
Don't get greedy with it, because
Agreed.
Names like this could possibly pump and dump, right? And you don't want to get stuck holding that bag when it goes against you. So that's another name. And lastly, I just want to keep an eye on this. Not looking for any potential setup, but I just want to keep an eye on it, and that's Myrna.
Oh,
Myrna.
I'm glad you brought it up, man. I forgot to bring that one up, so thank you.
yeah, man. So Myrna, big news come out yesterday with the authorization. I believe, supports FDA committee supports authorization of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. So what's funny about it, if you look at the pre-market action, this news came out around 5 o'clock, 4:50, somewhere around there, and went up to 148, then down to 136, and now we're actually gapping down, right? So it just goes to show, right? You buy the hype, you sell the news. The news came out after all the hype that's been, surrounded around Myrna. But nonetheless, I think the stock is just going to be traded, today.
Yep.
So I just want to keep an eye on it. I don't have any bias as far as like which direction I see it go. All I can say is, if we're looking at the history of a lot of these vaccine stocks, whenever the news actually comes out, it usually sells off.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying I'm going to short it, but I'm just saying, more often times than not,
I'm just saying.
it sells off. I'm just saying. So yeah, man, that's pretty much my watch list. So number one, Apple, AMD. Those are going to be my A list. B list is going to be Wish, and also Micron as well. And then Myrna is kind of going to be on that B2C list. I just want to watch it. And if there's a setup that I really like, definitely got to play Myrna, because the stock can reward you. It can burn you, but it can reward you.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind when trading Myrna.
Absolutely, man, 100%. So my A list is going to be Tesla, Nvidia, Micron, Moderna, Apple, and let me check Neil here. No, all right, nothing there. And PLTR. Those are going to be my top. There's a lot of movement occurring with Virgin Galactic right now. I have, to be honest, I did not check the news here, so let me just quickly take a glance.
Oh, big gap down. A lot of shares being traded.
Yeah, very, very heavy volume. It closed yesterday at 25.50 and now it's trading at 23.90, but look at the low, 22.70. So let me see if any, what news. Okay, Virgin Galactic drops as holders file to sell 113 million shares. Okay, let me open that. Let me dig a little deeper. Holders, okay, so probably existing, maybe some executives. I haven't read the news in details, but by the headline, it just sounds like insiders are selling 113 million shares, probably to raise funds or whatnot. So that's and if it's at the executive level, then for sure that would cause a little spook in the stock, because when you have executives selling shares, it doesn't look good, right? Because if you have executives that are committed for the long term, why would you sell your shares? You know? So that's why stocks can react this way. So let's keep an eye on it. It's moving pretty heavily. So we're about a minute before the market opens. So I'm going to cut the recording here for everybody on YouTube. You can join our community for free. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Comment on this video if you have any questions or comments. And have a good weekend. We'll see you all on Monday.